Patty.
Pet Shanes.
What's happening?
Right.
Hang on. We are going straight in with a right. Normally, a right is when you start your rants.
No, right. This is not a rant. This is not a right rant. This is
Right.
a right. You know, you just feel like you've got a full week ahead of you, and you actually feel like you just want to go, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm getting on a plane to somewhere else, and I'm not coming back.
Ooh.
There's me right. That's what I'm bringing to you this week, Pat Shanes.
Oh, that is hard.
Don't you just hate those weeks where you just got...
Oh, I hate weeks like that. The thing is with my job, which obviously remains cloak and dagger.
Yes, cloak and dagger, yeah.
The thing is with my job, you never know whether you're going to have a week like that or not. Like something kicks off and bam.
The whole thing's up shit's creek without a paddle. Yeah, I mean, your job, you never know what you're going to get from one week to the next. Whereas I do have a little bit more... I mean, still a little bit like that, but I think most jobs can be a bit like, actually, do you know what? I'm throwing you a curveball this week, Angie. Deal with it.
Curveballing it.
But I've kind of known that this week is going to be a bit of a full-on week. And you start the Monday and you're like, shit, this is going to be a shit. This is really going to be a shit this week.
It's going to be a shit.
And you've just got to go, I've got to get through it. I've just got to get through it, Pats. And that's how I feel.
You've got to get through this. You've got to get through this. You got to take it through.
I'm going to get through this.
You got to do a bed. Yeah. You got to do a bedder. You got to do a bedding field.
Yeah. So that's where I'm starting my week.
I've got a right for you.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
This weather today. So we record on a Monday. Oh my God. Yeah. I feel like the weather today has been an insight into my brain.
Wow. Okay. That's a big one.
I feel. What is wrong with it? It's Mercury in retrograde.
Well, it's bloody not, is it? Because
that's what's
I mean, that poll was a clear winner for being a load of shit.
Let me go on to the Finding the Funny Mercury, because I also did it, didn't I? Because somebody's lost their
I haven't lost it. I haven't lost
the login. Can't get into Instagram. Ruth will have to do all the posting. I mean, there's no bloody change there.
Shut the fuck up. I'm not taking this today, Patty. Right. Well, I'm interested to know what the results were of the FTF then.
Right. So I'm Team Patty, totally believe, got 119 votes, 31%. Mm-hmm. I'm Team Angie, it's a load of shit, got 269 votes, 69%.
Bosh! Thank you very much. It's a load of shit. Mercury in retrograde.
Right, well, I had a conversation with somebody on Instagram via voice notes. He was like, I don't believe in it. A planet that far away can't control what we're doing on Earth. To which I responded, well, the moon does.
Yeah, because the moon's freaking huge.
Right. Yeah. So it's all about size then, is it? Size does matter to you, is that what you're saying?
You know. Sometimes it does, yeah.
You know, the moon, controls the tides and shit and can control loads of stuff about the planet. So why can't Mercury have an impact on us?
Because you're dealing with masses of water, right? Fine. The moon will have a bit of a control over masses of water.
A bit of a control.
A bit of a control.
I mean, it controls the tides. Look, it's not like the moon's up there going, what about the sun? The sun basically keeps us alive.
Right, look, Patty, you can argue all you want, mate, right? We've done the polls on both fronts. I've smashed it. I've smashed your ass. I've whipped your ass. As have hundreds of other people who've gone, Patty, it's a load of shite. Let's move on. So there we go. There's your answer. Your polls have been your answer. They are actually the result. They are the winner in this. Not you, but me.
Anyway, I put up an anonymous box yesterday, and I was flooded. And I thought I'd bring a couple because we had this lovely message in, which I did share on Instagram, but it says, obviously I have no idea who this is from, but it says, you and Ange have helped me through so much without knowing. I'm so much happier and more confident. I started listening in season 1, the chat about chocolate bars, and I feel I've grown so much. So much so, I'm off to uni at the age of 38 to retrain in my dream career.
Oh,
Thank you for everything.
honestly,
Isn't that
those
just
sort
the
of messages
nicest
completely
message?
like blow my mind.
Same. Because I think we just chat a load of old shit.
Yeah, we just dick around on here for half an hour and put it out every week.
I also had loads of messages that were like, please, can the podcast be longer? No.
No.
Is the answer to that. You should hear the stuff that Martin cuts out.
Takes
it's
out.
Fucking diabolical.
I mean,
you don't
you're
want
lucky
to hear
you
that
get.
stuff.
You're lucky if you get a 30-minute, to be honest. That sometimes we're scraping around to find that. We can't do any more.
We had a lovely email in from Sally, and I'd really like to read it.
Okay, yeah, great.
Sally lives in Australia.
Good day, Sally.
Good day, Sally, mate.
Yep, nice to have you here.
Well, girls, I was crying on my way home from work yesterday as I listened to the talk about grown-up kids. I don't have any suggestions, but I'll be listening for them to come through next week and watching the gram for updates. I need to do that. Sorry, Sally. Please hold caller. My kids are only 9 and 12. The youngest, like yours, has been joined to me since birth, but I can feel it already starting with my 12-year-old son. He spent the Easter holidays in Australia camping in the backyard or going off to the shops with his friends to hang out. No longer reliant on me for so many things. I feel that empty feeling whenever he walks out the door. Lean in is great advice, Ruth. I could feel myself getting cranky at everyone, but that probably comes from denial, right? I can't control it, so I need to find a way to move forward, or he'll well and truly hate me by the time he's 18, won't he? Thanks for all the laughs, though, girls. My sisters and I listen every week. You remind us so much of ourselves. So much love from Oz, Sally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what a lovely email.
Honestly, I had so many messages last week from people just being just so lovely and kind and supportive and acknowledging, you know, how they have either been through it or are going through it, or even a bit like Sally, kind of preempting, you know, making, you know, having to start thinking about, actually, this is on the horizon for me. And it was just, yeah, it was just so, it was quite, it was lovely. It was lovely that people took the time to message, and I think it's like anything. I remember perhaps when, you know, you used to, you know, when your kind of fertility issues were at their, you know, height, and you would sort of say, you know, by me sharing what I'm going through,
absolutely,
you hope it helps others, and it makes you feel less alone. It makes you feel like I'm not the only person that's going through this and that will ever go through this. And yeah, it was just so wonderful to receive so many messages from people. And yeah, was really kind of blown away really by that. I didn't expect that response, I don't think.
We did have another message in from a woman called Michelle, and I'd like to read that too. Again, it's quite long, but it's absolutely beautiful. Hi, Ange and Ruth. Just wanted to say how poignant your conversation about the empty nest subject was, and how refreshing it was to hear Ange and how she was feeling about the changes to motherhood. You see, once your children reach a certain age, this all happens, even though they're still under your roof, which makes it doubly hard to speak about, as technically, I suppose, they haven't left home. I am and have been struggling with this for around 12 months, and more so over the last 2 months. It's such an odd subject, as some people are so dismissive of any type of sadness I'm feeling. It's almost like I should be over the moon that I'm not needed as much as a mother now. That's not how I feel at all, and I'm genuinely struggling with it. I'm gradually finding ways to navigate my way through, finding out what I want to do and who I want to be with, but let me tell you, the emotions are still there. And it's so hard not to project those onto my children. So hearing you guys just say it was okay to lean into that was something I really needed to hear. Very brave of Ange to speak up, and I thought, Ruth, that you showed so much empathy and genuine understanding for this limbo life stage that really isn't spoken about enough. Coupled that with the menopause, and you're left in a dark place at times. It's really helped me this morning, and I just wanted you both to know that. I absolutely love the podcast. I've been listening from the beginning. I won't lie, I started listening as I found you both through being a fan of James, but now I am just Ange and Ruth's fans. Sorry, James.
Oh.
This girl gang is amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh.
Much love, Michelle.
Oh my gosh, that is so lovely.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think that, you know, what you are experiencing, which I have talked about in my own fertility journey, and you know, there's so much of this that is parallel, because I remember when lots of my friends, and even you to a certain extent, were finding a new life through maybe school mums or football mums or dance mums or gym mums or whatever it may be. And, you know, finding friends when you're infertile is incredibly hard and it's very lonely. But, you know, you're, from what, you know, the thing that Michelle really brings so beautifully, I think, is that you are essentially talking about a grief without a loss. So your children haven't gone anywhere. Your children haven't left home. Your children haven't passed away. Your children haven't moved countries. You are grieving them, but they're still there. And you know, that's exactly the same with infertility. You know, when you don't grow your family in the way that you think that you would, that grief without a loss. And it's so hard to explain it, because if you said to your boss, I'm having a really tough day today because I've just dropped Joel at the airport and he's going travelling for 12 months. Everyone would go, oh my God, that's so hard. How are you? But if you phone your boss and you say, I'm having a really tough day because my son's, you know, doesn't need me as much, or my daughter's making me friends, or this is getting really difficult. Just like if I phone my boss and say, I can't come in today because I've come on my period. It's like, what? This is so... That navigating that grief when you haven't lost something is so ever changing and so hard. And that's why it's so important to lean into what that feels like. And it's so important to not rush through those feelings and just like lament, I suppose, in a way. But I found those two emails and I thought they were both absolutely really beautiful. And I think it shows how wonderfully you spoke about it and how much you shed light on something that is still quite a difficult topic for people to talk about.
And I'll just finish on this message that I got, and then we will move on from this.
Sure.
I had a lovely message from somebody called Maud, and she says, "Hi Ange, just wanted to send a quick note following Wednesday's ep regarding you talking about your kids growing up and needing you less, particularly about your close bond with your daughter. I'm much older than Nella. I'm 26. I have an extremely close relationship with my mum. I've been temporarily living with my parents since Christmas, and my mum and I have got to spend 4 months of really good quality time together, particularly the last few weeks where she has had time off work and my dad has been away. Today, I'm moving to Edinburgh for a new job, and just reflecting on how lucky I feel to have spent that time with her. Whilst I need to leave to live my own life again, I'm really going to miss her. Anyway, just wanted to say she might drift away because she needs to find her feet, experience independence and develop confidence. But she will always come back because, like my mum, you are fab. Anyway, all the best to you and yours." And I just thought that was such a lovely message, to kind of like a message from
the other side.
Yeah. You know, from this kind of like, I'm 26. I can kind of, she also said, because I responded to her, and then she said, "I could see through the line between you and my mum, and you helped me understand how she's probably been feeling for over 10 years. Cheers, Ange. As per, you the best." And I just thought it was a real kind of like a moment for me to go, okay, right, this is a message from someone who's 10 years on from where Nella is, and is able to kind of see how it's been for her mum, you know, that kind of, and it was just such a beautiful message to receive from Maud, as were so many others. So thank you to everybody that took the time to message.
Well, thank you to you for being so honest, and you know, you were the one that started that conversation, and you know, thank you for sharing with us stuff that is deeply personal. And I think that's why doing that is so important. However much of imposter syndrome you feel, or why would I talk about this, or you know, does this feel a little bit like I'm seeking this attention out, you know,
and
as much as it feels like that. I know you do. I know you do. I know. I think you feel like, well, nobody's going to want to hear about this from me. But every time you've talked about something, every time on this podcast that you have eloquently talked about your feelings, the influx of messages, and people want that. People don't want to feel alone. They don't. They want that sense of community, and that's what you have given. And so your bravery to tell us last week about how you'd been feeling is...
Have a breakdown
online.
I'm having a breakdown.
But yeah, it really did resonate with lots of people. It really, really did. It did. I swam 70 lengths yesterday.
Well, I did see you said I'm not going to brag or show off, but I
didn't say I'm not going to show off. I just said I'm not going to brag.
Not
put words in my mouth.
It's like people who go, you know, no offence. You are going to be offensive.
Hang on. How many times have you posted a picture of your fucking Apple Watch?
No, I'm not.
your run outline and been like, just done 7.5k, just screenshotted it and put it on the gram so you can piss off. Just because I said I'm not going to brag before.
No, but that's the thing.
You've been a fitness bragger. Bragger.
My point is about the saying I'm not going to brag, but then you brag.
Okay.
Like, if you're going to brag. Yeah, that's my point. Yeah,
I did 70 lengths.
Exactly.
I did 70 lengths last night, guys.
Yes, and that's my point. Is brag it. If you're gonna say it, say it. You know, it's like, and that comes back to my point where people go, no offense. No, you are going to be offensive.
Do you know what I needed to do in that? I needed to say it with my chest.
Yeah.
I needed to say it with my chest.
Did. That's exactly it. You needed to bring that energy with your chest. I am going to brag about this. I swam 70 fucking lengths. Please big me up, high five me, send me all your punches.
Yeah.
No, but that is very good, Pat. It's very good.
70 lengths. I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
I'm going to the gym tonight to do some weights.
I mean, you have literally
Mate.
No, it's not a 360 because otherwise you'd be back to where you were. You've done a 180.
I've done a 180.
You've done a 180. What is going on with this then, Pat? Is this just like is this a new Pat? Are we bearing a new Patty here?
Well, I think, look, let's tread with trepidation in this.
Okay, trepidation treads.
Patty's been here before.
Well, I didn't like to say, but yeah.
Patty's been here before, and come Christmas, she's piled on another 3 stones.
She's thought, fuck this, I'm going to eat everything.
So I think I actually had lots of messages on the anonymous thing yesterday about this and about like whether I was still doing fitness stuff and stuff like that. I'm basically going to turn my Instagram page into I'm going to become a fitness blogger.
Fine, brilliant, okay, excellent, yeah.
And actually, it's really interesting because I think when you've yo-yoed with your weight a lot, which I have, you go back, like, before I met Matthew, I was swimming 150 lengths at the pool. I was going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I get really into it. I think what I'm already worried about and what I'm already thinking about is my holiday.
Yeah, okay.
Because I know in all the times that I've done dieting, the thing that has taken me off the cart is like Easter, Christmas, holiday, away for a weekend, and just being like, oh yeah, I'm going to eat that. So I'm just going to continue to, I'm not going to go mal and be like, have a salad, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
No, please don't do that.
I'm not going to be sitting down in a pizza restaurant and having a tuna niçoise.
Yeah.
With the dressing on the side. I'm not going to be doing that.
Eating chips off everyone else's plate.
Yes, because you wish you'd had the chips.
Because you wish you'd had the chips. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so I know that my holiday is something that I have already got to plan for, and I do probably need to try and keep up some form of exercise when I'm away, and I do need to continue to calorie count while I'm away. Whether that's just that I increase my calories a little bit more, while I'm away, and I can, but I still need to have some form of discipline, because if I don't, it's very easy in 10 days to undo and come back and be like, yeah, I'll just have that, I'll just have that, I'll just have that, I'll just have that. And before you know it,
but
you're the size of a fucking house again.
I think the fact that you are already thinking about that is a good thing. So it's not like you're going, right, I'm going to go hell for leather from now until beginning of June, and then I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm on holiday. I'm going to eat all the shit I can see. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to just fall back into my own ways.
This time, genuinely, I want this to be sustained, right? So I am loving the way my body is already changing. And so I want this to be sustained. And so I've spent a lot of time. You're going to take the piss out of me for this. Oh my God.
Brilliant. I love this. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
So I've started a bit of a journal on all of this stuff.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's a good thing.
Like journaling about it.
What do you mean? Like writing down how you're feeling?
Yeah. And oh God, I didn't think I was going to talk about this.
We don't have to talk about it. No,
it's fine. I think for the first time in my life, I've actually started to realise that my relationship with food is actually really, really, really dangerous and really bad. And my ability to binge eat and my ability to not know when to stop is actually really dangerous. And I don't think I think as much as I've gone on health kicks before, I think I've probably done them for the wrong reasons, or I probably haven't spent enough time thinking about my relationship with food. And I've always sort of joked about it, and my weight has always been the easy thing for me to joke about. But actually I think, I'm not really old, but I'm nearly 42, and I'm aware that, as you get older, your body doesn't remain as strong. And so I think for me, I wanted to look at this time differently, and I've started journaling about how I feel and how I feel when I eat certain stuff and why I'm eating certain stuff. And I've actually already started to, in my journal, I've already started to think about my holiday, because I know that the significant times in my life where I haven't thought about that stuff, or I haven't gone, I've got that weekend away, and look, you can undo good eating in 2-3 days. I don't care what anyone says. You can easily jump back into, I'll have a packet of crisps, I'll have another chocolate bar. Oh, I'm going to get a takeaway tonight. Oh, actually, fuck it. I'm not going to have a healthy lunch. I'm going to have a massive baguette with loads of cheese, and I'm not going to think about the food that I'm eating. And before you know it, 10 days, 10 days is a long time to fully fall off the wagon.
Yes.
Totally. And you come back and your palate has changed and your desire to exercise has changed. And it's definitely true, the more you eat that sort of stuff, the less energy you have. So then getting back into exercise becomes really difficult.
It's a vicious circle. And I think, Pat, what you are doing and trying to do this time and being more aware of and being more conscious of is absolutely the best way you can do it.
Thanks. Okay, Ange, so now we've tied up the diet chat. I'm not calling it a diet. I'm not calling it a diet. I'm calling it a lifestyle change.
Lifestyle change.
Tell us what has been getting on your shitting tits.
Right. Now this is linked to, as we did, Patty did make a reference to at the top of the record, how I haven't been able to get into the Finding the Funny Instagram, right?
Has that pissed you off?
The thing that's, well, just in general, right? Passwords and security questions and all of that. So the reason I can't get into the Finding the Funny Instagram is because I've got a new phone. Right? I've got a new phone. And I totally get that obviously they do all these things for your security, to keep you secure. We want to make sure Angie is Angie. Angie is Angie. She's part of Finding the Funny. She wants to get into the gram. I get it, right? But I had to also set up, you know, the whole Apple Pay, which is obviously a fairly new thing to me.
God, this is
Right?
carnage.
So you have to set up your cards again, don't you, when you go on a new phone?
Yes,
you have
Margaret Corden, you do.
I had to go, and you have to do this thing, right? So I've got a Monzo card, and I want to put my Monzo card on the Apple Pay. So you have to log into Monzo, fine, yeah, get it. You have to record yourself saying words on a screen. So I had to record me going 453154. Right, so I did that.
That's not a password, is it?
Know...
You haven't given.
No, it's just a random selection of numbers.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm not giving anything away by saying that. Did that, and then I didn't know if I had to do anything else, so I kept it there. And then I went, oh, is that all I have to do? So I'm recording myself the whole time.
Oh my God! What, you're still looking at the camera going, oh, is that all I've got? Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then I was like, oh, no, yeah, that is it. Oh, stopped it. But then because
you are a technophobe, man. Fucking
it's like
hell.
when you have to put in your pet's first name, your mum's bra size, your dad's inside leg, just all this shit they ask for.
The ones I hate, it's fine if it's to get into the system that I work on, it asks you every day for a different number of your passwords. It'll be like they want the 7th digit and the 9th digit and the 12th digit, and then you have to answer.
And you got to work it out.
You have to answer a memorable question. I don't mind the memorable question bit because I always know the answer. It's the you've got your fingers up and you're like MCKD. Right, put it in, and then it says. This is incorrect. No, it's not. And then you count again and you're like, oh yeah, actually the computer is cleverer than me. It is incorrect. It should have been a K and not a D. Sorry about that. But you spend your time going, it's not fucking wrong, man. Let me do it again. Oh no, it was wrong. I put the wrong. But I have to count every morning on my hands. I have to be like M, D, F, G, K, C, D, 2. It is fucking awful.
That's my thing.
Yeah, but I don't understand why finding the funny part, because the finding the funny password isn't like that. It's just a password.
I know, but I don't know what it is because previous to having my new phone, I could just flick between the two accounts. I didn't have to put a password in before.
I think I have got it saved, so I think I'll send it to you. I think.
But all that, just that whole thing of passwords and shit, and then my iPhone isn't connecting to my phone, and I say to Ian, because he's the fucking techno guru.
Your iPhone isn't connecting to your phone?
I mean, my Apple phone.
Oh my God, this is chaos. This feels like the technology version of the weather today. This is absolute chaos. You've got no idea what you're talking about.
No, I don't. I actually feel quite delirious today.
Well, I mean, there is something wrong with your technological side. Well, you don't have a technological side of your brain at all. You are marked.
And that's what pisses me off, because I go to do something last night I wanted to just have a look at my fitness. Let's see what was and I go to it,
not linked.
and there's nothing
not
there.
Linked.
So I say to Ian, who's the techno guru of our house, of the world, in my opinion. I mean, he's not, but I'll say, Ian, why is this not connecting to this? Have you disconnected it from your other phone? No, I didn't know I had to disconnect that one to connect this one. It's just all that passwords and trying to connect things and registering things. You have to answer things and you have to know all this shit. I just want to be able to use it and not have to do all the shit.
Right.
If someone would just go, Ange, I'll do all that for you, I'd be like, brilliant.
Right, you'd pay someone.
I'll pay you whatever you want.
You'd pay someone to sort out your technology.
I would, yeah.
I'll do it. You can pay me.
I'm not paying you.
Oh. I'd pay anyone anything. You can pay me. I'm not paying you.
No, because you should just do it for love.
Oh, God, that's not going to get me a Gucci handbag, is it? I'll go in and say to Gucci, oh, you know that bag I really want? Can I pay you in love?
That's what I'm expecting.
Ange, I do believe you've got a dickish behaviour from a listener.
We did have a dickish behaviour in from a listener, which I thought was a great one.
Okay.
This came in from P Falcon 239, and he/she, because you don't know, says, people speeding up when you're trying to overtake them on the motorway.
I do that.
You don't. You do not. What, so people are trying to overtake you and you just go faster? Go faster.
Right, if I'm in the fast lane, if somebody comes speeding up behind me and wants to undertake me, I will speed up. As they come parallel to me, I'll be like, fuck you. You're not undertaking me. You can wait till I move over. Fuck off. And especially if there's another car in front of me, I'm like, what are you going to do? Like, squidge in between us, slam your brakes on and not get any further? No, fuck you, mate, in your Range Rover, your Porsche.
No, but I'm with you on that. But what pisses me off is when you're in the fast lane, right? And you've got someone in the middle lane and they're tootling along and you're like, I'm going to get past you. And then they go, actually, you're not. And they speed up.
Like, you want to come round them and then come back into the middle lane. I mean, I think people that drive in the middle lane of the motorway are dicks anyway. They absolutely piss me the hell off.
Middle lane drivers, right on the titties.
Get out
and learn to drive.
Either go in the fast lane, and keep up with the big boys, or sit with the granddads.
Sit in the first lane, exactly.
Sit with the granddads, not
Pootle
going
along.
above. I mean, also, people on the motorway, even if they're in the slowest lane and they're doing like 40 miles an hour, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. That is dangerous.
You shouldn't be doing that.
That is as bad as going too fast.
Exactly.
It's not keeping the traffic flowing.
No, you're on a motorway. You're not pootling around your little village.
Yeah.
At 40 mile an hour.
Get up to your 70 and stay at 70.
What do you feel about... Because do you have to have a retest at a certain age? I think you do, don't you?
I don't know if it's a blanket rule.
Because I just think you should... I actually think you should actually have more regular testing.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I'd fail. Probably fail.
You would. You drive way too close to the car in front. Bloody hell. If you had to do a retest, your examiner would be like, I don't want to sit in the buttocks of the driver in front. Thank you very much. I don't want to smell their shit.
Yeah, but I do think it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? You take your driving test at 17, 18, whatever it is, and then you don't be tested again. You don't get me tested again.
You don't yet get me tested again. Anyway,
I thought that was a great DB.
That is a great DB.
Many thanks
that is a great DB.
for that one, P Falcon.
Well, there we are, another episode.
There we go, another one
in the bag.
Yeah.
Now remember, there's loads of ways that you can get in touch with us if you wish to. You can find us both on Instagram. I'm at Ruth_Gordon. Ange is at Ange Gordon.
You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
Or you can send us an email, findingthefunnypodcast@gmail.com. But Ange and I will be back next week helping you to find more of the funny.